Dude, because you were a safety in college.
Yeah, I was a free safety. Well, I was like a rover. We played a 3-3-5. I was free in the middle all the time, but I just did whatever I wanted to. It was unbelievable.
So they built it around you.
Yes. Well, the defense it was called the Lobo, we were the Lobos.
Yeah.
But there was a guy who played the same position at UCLA before. I don't remember, he was a safety guy. I'm not good at remembering, but he played the same position I did when Coach Long was at UCLA, and then just made his position for the Lobo at UNM.
And you were a receiver in high school?
Yeah.
Were you a beast?
I was pretty good. I was slow. I mean, tall, skinny, white guy. But, I scored 25 touchdowns my senior. We were state champs. We were good.
Receiving
14-0.
touchdowns?
25 total. I think I had 6 punt and kick returns, 2 rushing, and the rest were receiving. And then
You were a beast.
I had no defensive touchdowns in high school. 0.
14-0, state championship.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got our guys back there.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, state champs, 14-0, nationally ranked. I don't know how we got nationally ranked, because if we played anybody that was good in another state, we'd have got throttled. But we were good in our state.
How fun was it winning a state high school championship?
Pretty badass, because you think we have one high school where I grew up. How big is your town? You grew up in
4,000
people?
4,000 people, yeah.
In your town?
Yeah, in our town.
Oh, that's that's smaller than where I grew up then.
Yeah.
So we had one high school. We're probably similarly. We had one high school where I grew up, and you go to school with all the kids. Like our senior class, there's like 13 of us, and we all played from 7th grade on together. So it was cool as hell. But we lost the state championship my junior year. We were 11-4, and Artesia beat us in the state championship. Beat them in the regular season my senior year, and we ended up going on to win the
Super
state.
motivated going into your senior year.
Oh hell yeah!
All the bulletin board material.
And then our
lost
quarterback
state
tore his
championship.
ACL our 8th game of the year. Our starting quarterback ripped his ACL in the second quarter of the 8th game of the year playing Artesia. And then my boy Brandon comes in, and we go 6-0 with him at quarterback.
Still slinging it?
Oh yeah,
Or you guys got to hit the run game more.
Well, he could sling it. Well, he really threw it to me a lot. Brandon was our quarterback when I was in 8th and 9th grade, and then he didn't play because he's a good basketball player. So he sat out his sophomore, and junior, and senior year. Thank God he came out, because if he doesn't come out, we don't win it.
Right.
Because the guy gets hurt.
Why don't you think you got recruited much out of high school?
I don't know. I wonder about that. So I went to a camp at Texas Tech before my senior year, and I was the most outstanding camper. It was like 500 kids there. I was like, definitely going to school. They're giving me a scholarship for sure, no doubt. They gave me the most outstanding camper award. They're like, you can come walk on if you want to. We don't have a scholarship for you. And I couldn't afford it. I got to meet Zach Thomas in the weight room that day at their camp.
We'll get into Zach. I heard that clip.
Fucking Zach Thomas.
I heard that clip on the
love
McAfee
that
show.
dude. Anyway, yeah. And I was at their camp, and then they're like, you can come walk on. And I took a trip to UNM, and Coach Fram was like, we'd love to offer you a scholarship, but if you don't take it right now, we're giving it to somebody else. I was like, I'll take it. That's my only offer I've ever gotten. I took one visit. I was supposed to, the New Mexico State called me 2 weeks later, but I wasn't going to go there anyway, the Aggies. But so I took it right there, and that was it. That's the only place that offered me.
That's fucking crazy.
One visit, one offer, that's all it took.
How old are you? You're in your 40s,
44.
right?
I'm old.
Fucking crazy.
I'm old, I know. It goes
What
by
was
fast.
what was recruiting like? Because it's so much different now. And we'll talk about your son here in a second too. But like, what was recruiting like back then? Like, how were you trying to get noticed? Was it just like go to camps?
I don't know. I went to one camp. Yeah, I think they didn't have. Is it the huddle they have now for all these kids? My son always shows me these videos and shit on his phone. I don't know what.
You can put in your bio on social media
got
now.
like 400 plays. I'm like, damn, but it's all practice though. But back then it was. I guess I get a ton of letters at home back then. Colgate, Cornell sent me letters. I had Ivy Leagues recruiting me. Obviously they didn't offer me a scholarship, but and I took one visit. UNM was like, we'd like to bring your official visit up here. My parents drove us up. And that was it. That's all. That was my recruiting experience. One trip, one visit, one offer, and that was it.
And now, are your head coaches or coaching staff trying to help you get recruited, or are you guys not a very big school that didn't really?
Well, they tried, but we didn't have a lot of kids go. I was the only guy that went to play D1 football out of my high school. I think maybe there might have been a couple guys walk on after I left, but we don't really get a lot of scholarships down there because we're a small school in New Mexico, so people don't think we can play football. I guess I don't know. It pisses me off. We're good. We were good.
New Mexico is kind of like. It's kind of like a.
Oh, it's kind of like what?
I'm not. No disrespect, but you're thinking about the
not
States,
a powerhouse.
Like, New Mexico kind of like just goes up under the carpet, dude.
It does. It really does. So you got Florida, California, Texas. They have good high school football in Arizona as well. They got a lot of. My son's team last year had a kid go to Ohio State, a kid go to Iowa State, a kid go to Princeton. Two receivers went Ohio State and Iowa State. Unreal.
So that's what sucks about Taylor not being here. He went to. Is it Chaparral? Chaparral.
Really?
Yeah, Taylor
I didn't know
Chaparral.
That. Oh, so they're good. We played them 2 years ago.
They got a good team.
They got some dudes. They won state, I think, in the last year. Did they win state or lose state in the chant? They got to the state championship
because they had a 5-star kid there. He's like a DN.
A DN. He's a badass. He's a good player. I think they lost in the state championship to Highland, And so that's so there's two different state championships there. There's the Open, which is the one Chandler plays in. There's 8 teams. It's the 8 best teams in the state.
Yeah.
They play for the big state championship, and then the other teams play for the other one. If you don't get in the Open, you're just playing. It's still a state championship, but it's not like the big one. It's weird how they do it.
The losers bracket.
I didn't say that. I'm not sure what they call it.